Good morning. You're listening to KSQD Santa Cruz, KSQD 90.7 FM, streaming live at ksqd.org. I am Catherine Bell, and welcome to the Dream Journal, a weekly show where we explore the healing powers of your nighttime dreams through conversations with dream experts and with you. In words of Carl Jung, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. Okay, this is Catherine Bell. I am live from the Tucson conference here. The IASD, the International Association for the Study of Dreams, is having their annual international conference here this week at the Los Ventana Resort Hotel. And I'm so excited to be here. We have several different people lined up to have some conversations with you. I'm Catherine Bell of Experiential Dreamwork, and welcome to the Dream Journal. The Dream Journal is also a podcast, so you can look for that in all of your regular podcast platforms and also on the KSQD website, KSQD/the-dream-journal. So look for the Dream Journal, review it, subscribe, and tell your friends. It gives you an opportunity to talk about dreams. And wouldn't you rather be talking about dreams than pretty much anything else? So I'm going to start with my personal dream work the way I usually do. And just to jump in here, like right before the conference, I'm always interested what dream is coming up for me. And I had a dream about a hierarchical system, which was, I went to this planet where there were these people wearing different colored robes, and it seemed that some of them were better than others. So I overheard people saying, oh, these are more important than others. And I'm like watching this from the outside and realizing that there's some part of me that has some pretty intense hierarchy going on. And so I'd really like to know what that is and sort of start to recognize that in myself. And so I'm going to use the conference as a chance to explore that. Okay, so this is Catherine Bell. I will be taking call-ins during the last 20 minutes of the show, but you can email us anytime at onair@ksqd.org, onair@ksqd.org. Rick Kleffel is holding down the studio in Santa Cruz, and he will be reading emails in case you want to send one, and we'll take call-ins in the last little bit. So my first guest is Suzanne Maniss from Texas, and she is a psychologist, retired. Why don't you introduce yourself? Counselor, please introduce yourself, Suzanne.
Thank you. I'm Suzanne Maniss. I'm from Edinburgh, Texas, which is in the Rio Grande Valley, and a counselor educator at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
Oh, okay, excellent. And you worked with dreams for a long time?
Yes. In my graduate work, I first was acquainted with dream work with a professor that did a lot of dream work in his own practice, and there were a lot of us that were very interested in that. And as a result, I spent 10 years in analysis and began to incorporate the use of dreams with clients that were interested and willing.
Yeah, right. Because not everybody is interested in dreams and willing to dreams. But I appreciate that you were able to have that conversation, because many therapists are not available to talk about dreams. They're kind of intimidated by dreams. And so let's just spend a minute there, and then we'll jump to the conference. But I wanted to just say, do you have any thoughts about using dreams as part of the therapeutic standard?
I love it. I think it's another way to get information that's valuable for our clients.
Yes.
And for those who have access to their dreams and dream very vividly, they bring so much information into the therapeutic session. I was talking with a colleague a couple of weeks ago about just everyday ways also to bring an awareness to dreams, and not just the therapeutic setting, but in our everyday lives that would increase our awareness and our use of those things.
Excellent. Yeah, they're really so valuable because they are working behind the scenes at all times, whether we remember them or not. So, Suzanne, I understand this is your very first conference, the IASD conference. When did you first hear about the conferences, and what inspired you to come this year?
This is terrible. I heard about it 25 years ago, and I finally made it. I have watched the website and followed a lot of people's research and work, and I'm here this year with a colleague, Dr. Scott Sparrow, and a graduate student, Tabitha Rodriguez, and we're going to talk about what we did during the pandemic when we had to shift to virtual service provision in our training clinics, and the success that we had.
Oh, okay. Fabulous. And so what are you looking forward to at the conference? What kind of drew you in? Why, after 25 years, did you finally say yes?
We actually had the presentation accepted, and Also, having a colleague in the department that loves dreams and is supportive, and we have wonderful conversations.
Tell me about your presentation.
Well, we, as everyone knows, because everyone's life changed in some way or another in spring of 20, as a faculty member, we have 2 training clinics, and they're face-to-face, and our students needed to be able to continue to get their hours that are required by our accrediting bodies, as well as the program of study for the university. And people couldn't come to counseling because nobody could be in person. I knew that it would be too much bureaucratically to try to do something within the structure of the university. So I asked my dean and the other administrators if I could go outside the university structure and develop a platform. Dr. Scott Sparrow was my first thought, because he's already done a lot of this for IASD in terms of trainings and his own work as well. And I just picked up the phone and said, Scott, you've got to help. And that was the beginning, and here we are.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm looking forward to your presentation. I think that'll be wonderful. I also want to let folks know that we do have, although it's not a hybrid event, there is a one day that's going to be hybrid. Some of our researchers are going to have a hybrid event on Thursday. So there is still time, even if you're not here, if you'd like to sign up online, you can do that from wherever you are, even if you're not in the Tucson area. But if you are in the Tucson area, you should come on down. We do accept in-person sign-ups as well for one day or for the entire conference. And I'm just sitting at the registration table, which is not yet set up, but it's here, people milling about, and you should come on down. There's a lot of friendly dreamers here, and it's going to be a great week. So I'm going to switch to a little music. We're going to do more music this show than usual. Give me a chance to find the next person to come over and say thank you so much, Suzanne. I really appreciate you being here. So you're listening to KSQUID 90.7 FM, streaming live at ksqd.org. My name is Catherine Bell, and this is The Dream Journal.
My name is Rick Kleffel, and you're hearing a brief bit from Revelatron. This is a 30-minute performance with Amy Barnes on vocals for Mood Science is the band. Let's listen in. Let's get back to Catherine Bell. She's at the International Association for the Study of Dreams Conference in Arizona. Over to you, Catherine.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Rick Kleffel. This is unusual to have us so far apart because usually Rick is right across the board from me. And but now you're about 800 miles away or something over in Santa Cruz, and yet I can hear you clear. And I am Catherine Bell, and you are listening to K-Squid 90.7 FM, streaming live at ksqd.org. I am, as Rick said, live at the IASD conference in Tucson, and I have in front of me now Scott Sparrow. So, hi, Scott. You've been on the show before.
Yes, last year I guess it was.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it has been. It's been. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's been about a year.
Yeah.
And unlike Suzanne, who we just spoke to, you're kind of an old hand, right? You've been to these conferences quite a bit, haven't you? Tell me a little bit about your history with the conferences.
Well, the first one I came to was in Sonoma in 2005, I think it was.
Okay.
And I've been coming ever since, just about every year.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
2005. Okay, so what is it that keeps bringing you back?
Well, the people mainly.
The people,
I don't know
yes.
what it is. This community is so rich, so deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great tribe.
Yep, tribe, that's the word.
Yeah.
The cultural appropriation, or can we use that?
Oh,
no. There is something about that, though, that feels like my community that I can really, not just family, because, family is lovely, but they're intense sometimes.
We need something to describe
but
what
something
it is, right?
like our village or something.
Yeah,
The village where we get to support each other and be together. Because that was certainly my first experience when I came to IASD. Was I felt like I had found my home.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, excellent. So now, what are you doing this year? You have different roles over the years, and also your presentations as well.
I just had one presentation this year. Usually have more, but I want to enjoy the conference.
Yeah.
More of a participant than a presenter for once. Anyway, presenting on...
You're presenting with Suzanne, is that what I
that's
gather?
right. Yeah, on Dream Start Free Online Counseling, which is a online telehealth program we developed that also incorporated dreamwork.
This is fabulous. As I was talking with Suzanne, I wish more psychologists and all kinds of therapists would use dreams more, because they're kind of the native information coming from the person that can be very powerful.
Exactly,
and many therapists are very intimidated to work with dreams.
They don't know what to do with them. I think that maybe there's something they've got to do or figure out. But what I think we've learned over the years is that just dream sharing is so rich. It has a way of bonding people and opening up deeper levels of understanding without having to know anything. Really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it seems like just saying the dream out loud is helpful to the dreamer, and the person listening just needs to listen and feel along with them.
Yeah.
In my experience, they don't really need to have any kind of words of wisdom to say or anything like that. Yeah. So what are you looking forward to this week at the conference in particular? You've been to so many conferences. What are some of the highlights for you?
Well, I'm into lucid dream research.
We have Stephen LeBerge this week.
That's right.
That's very exciting.
Stephen will be speaking and his associates. And I have some dreamwork people that I want to collaborate with. We're all doing training in different ways, different online and certification programs. And so, I'm interested in networking with other dreamwork training people.
Okay. Yeah, the networking is wonderful. And this is our first in-person conference in 3 years. I guess this has been 3 years since Scottsdale in 2019.
So refreshing to be back in touch with people.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm really happy that. And now you have in the past also been part of the recording process. Is that something you're doing this year as well?
That's right.
Because we do offer for participants, they can purchase recordings, which this year I believe mostly include videos as well.
That's right. We're using Zoom to capture the presentations and save them on the server, and then we'll be able to give everybody a link, and they can download and play all these videos. It'll be really fun, I think.
Well, I think the pandemic kind of drug us kicking and screaming into the modern era. In so
all of
many
us,
ways.
Right? One way or the other.
Exactly, in so many ways. So I'm just, I feel like I might be time to get you on the show again. I love to have repeat interviews with people. It seems like you often get into in-depth conversations, and I don't know if this is what are you working on going forward? Do you have things that you're planning after the conference? What is your dream project now?
Well, I'm working on a book on dream analysis.
Oh, great.
And developing a university program, certificate program on dream analysis. Maybe one of the first certificate programs available in the country.
That be for like therapist level?
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous! So I think we need to bring a lot more of those into the work. In fact, I want to let's if it's okay. I want to thank you so much, Scott, for being here, and
thank you.
I want to. Thank you. And Linda's here. Lovely Linda Mastrangelo.
Running around like a chicken without a head.
Thank you. She's been very helpful in helping us corral our background noise, which we have quite a bit of here today, which I knew was happening, and I knew that was part of the allure of the show today. To be part of the
right. This is super live.
Yes, it is. This is like
real time.
In the moment, right? This is more than live radio. So this is Linda Mastrangelo. And I'll just say my name is Catherine Bell, and we're here at the Tucson conference, and you're listening to this K-Squid 90.7 FM. And Linda is a Santa Cruz person, lives up in Ben Lomond, so I count her as a neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So how many conferences have you been to? Have you been a regular of these, or is this? You think so?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
It's funny because I was listening to Scott, and I was like, when was my first conference? It was actually in 2006 at Bridgewater, Massachusetts.
Oh, Massachusetts.
Kurt Hoffman, who will be coming on soon, hosted. So it was at his university, and it was incredibly life-changing for me. It was. I love the village, the dream village.
Yeah,
it really was that. It was like, oh my goodness, I found my people. And it was a pivotal moment because that was when I changed a lot of my life trajectory as far as moving forward, attending JFK, John F. Kennedy University.
The Bay Area, right?
I moved to the Bay Area, as well as attending or enrolling in the Dream Study certificate there.
Okay. Well, this is Justina's dream study? No, this was at JFK.
Yeah, prior to that, it was Justina Lasley from Institute for Dream Studies who, she had our cohort. That was one of our requirements to attend one of these conferences.
Oh, I see. Okay. She knew that would get you hooked.
She knew exactly what she was doing, as usual.
Yes.
And so she launched us, basically, and she certainly launched me into this trajectory of working with dreams more professionally. Yes,
right, because you're a full-time therapist like Suzanne and Scott, and there is something about dreams that is really... they're just kind of like windows. Isn't even there a young quote about that the dream is the window into the inmost sanctum or something like that?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. How I hold it exactly like that, Catherine. It's like what I tell my clients, especially if they're new to dream work and working with dreams therapeutically, is that these dreams come directly from them. It's not outside of themselves. So this makes it way more powerful and way more accessible, as well as it's like an empowerment piece, because dreams come when we're ready to work on what we need to work on, and it usually goes directly, as you know.
That's true. Oh my goodness, sometimes right to the heart of the matter.
Right to the heart of the matter, but in a way that is not so activating, because sometimes you were dealing with traumatic material.
Absolutely. And we still have a choice of whether to work with the dream or not, or whether to even remember the dream. That's like, sometimes I'll make a prayer like, can I send me this in a way I can handle? Because sometimes the dreams are too intense, and then I'm like, okay, I know there's something really important here.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you heard my introductory dream about a hierarchical system, and I'm like, I'm really scratching my head like, whoa, how can I process this? I just went to a planet where there were these people, mostly women actually, in robes of different colors, and I overheard someone say, oh, they're not as important as we are, or something like that. And I'm like, oh no, it's a hierarchy. And they were broadcasting back to the earth. Somebody was saying, oh, everybody's the same here. It's equal. We're all the same. And at the same, I could see that was not true. And I'm like, whoa, that's part of me that like judges people and says, oh, you're not as good as me, or you're better than me, and I'm like, wow, like I feel like I'm eavesdropping in on it. I've got goosebumps right now talking about that dream.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, and I'm like, how do I even begin to work with it? Well, I have the dream.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So much of that is going back to the dream and letting the dream be the one to guide. And as you said, and this helps with people who are dealing with trauma and really hard material, the nightmares especially, having someone there to contain it, to have a safe space to explore, and to usually say, oh, these are just energies that we're working with, and we can transform. And it helps. Usually that in and of itself will bring down the anxiety. It will bring down
It's so true, so true. Yeah, and there's just even to say the dream and like getting to speak it now twice during the show. It's like it's helpful. It feels like something in me, like you're just doing that, kind of calms down. Something's like there's something true here, and I don't know how. And it's not a judgment. I don't have to feel like I'm judging myself. It's just like, oh wow, that's interesting. Like we've been doing this. Diversity classes with IASD. We've been doing these diversity because we're wanting to diversify our group, and it really has brought it's brought into my awareness the way that I rank people and the way that I like notice people, and even though everybody's the same here, and yet I have my implicit biases, and I think this dream is maybe starting to open that up for me.
That's incredible.
Okay, well, this has been great. This is Linda Mastrangelo. Thank you so much, Rick, for manning the Santa Cruz things. I'd like to take another break. Do you have, Linda, do you have anything else you want to say? Anything you're particularly looking forward to about the the conference here?
It's really a blessing that we're all able to come together right now, especially now. And you're bringing up your dream, I think, reflects the larger collective of what's going on.
Oh, yes.
So as dreamers, we're dreaming new things into the world, and coming together in these spaces are really going to, I think, shift. I do feel we have a role to play. And as your dream said, no, we do matter, and we do have a role. And I'm excited to be representing the Institute for
Oh yes,
Dream
tell me about
Studies.
That. You're now the Institute for Dream Studies, Mucky Muck, right? Is that your official title?
I'm going to change it now. Yes, I'm the Mucky Muck. Justina Lasley and I are now we're superpowers together, and we're really wanting to bring the dream out into the world and really get dreamers like us, people who are struggling. Maybe they don't feel like they have community, or they have this calling, but they need a safe place, a container, guidance. So we offer certificate program in dream studies for professionals, as well as workshops. So if you look up Institute for Dream Studies, you can check out.
Now that's for
program.
professionals, but also if you're just interested in studying your own dreams, do you have programs for that as well?
Yes, and that's the beauty of this program. It's because no matter what, whether you want to do your own deep work or just add to your own profession, you're all required to do your work. I think that's important. It's part of how we're going to shift things.
Absolutely. It's like we are, the ocean is made up of millions of drops, and each of the drops matter.
And what a beautiful place to end.
Actually. Thank you, Linda.
So
Wonderful.
great. It's
Yay.
always a pleasure
Okay.
to see you.
Thanks so much, Linda. So this is the Dream Journal. My name is Catherine Bell. We're going to take another short musical break. Okay. And then we're coming right back with Curtis Hoffman, and you're listening to the Squid, K-Squid, 90.7 FM, streaming live at ksqd.org, and in the Santa Cruz area at 90.7 FM. We are here live at the conference, the IASD Dream Conference. That's the International Association for the Study of Dreams. And Kurt Hoffman has been associated with this conference for quite some time in the whole organization. Why don't you tell me a little bit about some of your background with this organization, if you don't mind?
Well, I attend a spiritual conference in New York City every year. And back in 1991, I met two other people at the conference, and we just, we basically glommed onto each other. We agreed that we would meet again the following year and meet before the conference. And when we did, we discovered that each of us, prior to meeting, had a very significant dream, and the three dreams wove in and among each other. And we said, wait a minute, we've got something here. So we resolved that we would send each other, three-way, all of the remembered dreams that we had month by month.
You mean every month?
Every month.
All the dreams.
Yes.
That's a lot of dreams.
Yes. Yeah, it was. Well, it became more as the time went on. And we did that for a couple of years, and then one of the three people moved to Asheville, North Carolina. Now, it happened that IASD was having its conference in 1997 in Asheville. And so she invited the other two of us to come on down and spend some time together and then go to the conference together.
Okay.
So that is how I came into IASD.
And what year was that?
1997.
97. Okay.
And I have been to every conference since, except for 1998, which was in Hawaii.
Okay.
But I've been to every one since, and at most of the conferences I have presented on a variety of topics. Also, in order to accommodate the dreams that I was sending along to these people, my wife, who at the time had a job as a database programmer, wrote me a dream database program.
There you go.
Yeah, and so I have used that ever since, and I'm now up over 17,000 dreams on it.
17,000. Well, we
And
talked last week to Deirdre Barrett, who has like 17,000 dreams, but that's from all around the world over the course of about a year, and that's just one person, 17,000 dreams.
Yeah, over 31 years.
31, yes.
Yeah, but it's searchable on a number of tabs, and I can pull up information on anything that I want over the course of any span of time that I want. So it's very flexible. And I've used that as the basis of a lot of my presentations.
Okay, so this is like what they call, is this what they call a longitudinal study?
Yep.
Where they, rather than looking at a large population of people, you're looking at following one person.
That's right.
And so you're able to see the way your dreams change depending on what's going on in your waking life?
To a degree, and this is something which we're presenting on at this conference.
Oh, great.
Because one of the ways of looking at that is by looking at the changes in the colors that appear in the dreams.
Oh, colors.
Yes, so Bob Haas does a lot of analysis on color in dreams, and I've sent him the colors from all 17,000 to analyze, and he's done that, and we're going to be doing a co-authored presentation on that at this conference.
Okay. Oh, great. So that's something to look for. In fact, Bob Haas was on the show 3 or 4 weeks ago and talked a little bit about your database. And here we actually have Kurt. We'll get Kurt Hoffman back and get a whole hour-long presentation from you about your work with dreams. Because another thing we haven't touched on yet is I understand that you get music in your dreams.
Yes.
I'd like to hear a little bit about that.
Well, this is something that came about in an odd sort of a way. I have, for probably about the last 12 years or so, played an early music instrument called the chromehorn. And I've also now played one called the dulcian. They're double reed instruments. And once I had gotten enough mastery on it that I felt comfortable playing in public, my wife and I started attending a summer week-long music camp in our area. And the first time that we went there was also shortly after the second Asheville conference, at which I had acquired a copy of Jung's Red Book.
Ah, yes.
Now,
That's amazing, isn't it?
what I noticed while reading the Red Book is that I would have a dream and then I would read about it in the Red Book.
Oh, the dream came first.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes. It was very interesting what was going on. And so on the night after we got back from the camp, I had a big dream, which involved one of the images from the Red Book. And then from it, I moved into an upstairs room where the two women who were running the camp that year had a chorus. And each of the people in the chorus had a piece of paper with one word on it. And they gave me the whole text. And in the dream, I recognized the text was from the Red Book. It was the section which is called the Eavesdrop section. But Eavesdrop was how the name of Gilgamesh was read back in the day. And Gilgamesh in Jung's dream did not seek to correct him.
Okay.
Now, since my background is in ancient Mesopotamian culture, archaeology, literature, and art, I gravitated toward this section. And what it is a series of incantations to the god who is encased in an egg, and to reawaken him. And what I understood from that dream that I was being told to do was to write a cantata a cappella for 4 voices using the text of the incantation.
Oh, okay.
But since he's Babylonian, I translated it from the Swiss German into Babylonian Akkadian.
Okay, that's very for the authentic details.
Yes.
I see. Yes,
And
okay.
so we actually performed 2 of the movements, of the 8 movements of that, at my university. And then we performed 2 other movements at a IASD mini conference in our region. And that was a period of about 1.5 years in which I was receiving the music and writing down the dreams from the music. And then it kind of went dry for a while. And nothing else was... I mean, I would occasionally get music in dreams. I'd write it down, but it didn't seem to have any other kind of a goal or purpose to it. So at last year's conference, I attended a workshop of Laura Schneider's.
Go ahead.
Laura is got a wonderful book out on the tarot called Tarot P, It's All in the Cards.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Lauren Schneider?
Yeah.
Yes.
And she led a workshop at which we went into breakout rooms of 3. We were instructed to choose any 2 tarot cards, and then we would work on them as if it were a dream.
Okay.
And the 2 cards that I picked in a normal deck, because I had Carmen Sorrenti's Falarcos tarot deck at that time. But the ones that I had worked out to be the 2, rather the Knight and the 2 of Wands. And when we worked on this, the question that I posed was, what is my next project?
Okay, yes,
Because I had just at that point finished the last of my major archaeological projects, because that's my career as an archaeologist. And the first card looked like it was mostly about the past projects, and the second looked toward the future, but wasn't very clear.
Okay.
But I ordered Lauren's book in the mail, and it came about a week later after the conference, and I read through it quickly because I'm very familiar with her methodology, and it's a good read. And after I'd read it, I emailed her to congratulate her, and I said, well, you have exercises in this book for people to try, but let me suggest that there was one further exercise that you could have done, which is design your own tarot.
Yes.
And I added, I do not have the artistic skills to do that. My creative impulse, such as it is in the field of music.
Right.
And then it hit me. Oh.
And then it what?
It hit me.
It hit me.
That's my next project. So from that point on, I have been catching dreams which have musical themes that go with the 78 tarot cards.
Right. Okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, so the musical theme for each card. So there's 78 musical themes for 78 cards.
Yes.
That's a lot of musical themes. Okay.
500 plus dreams.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still catching them. Got 2 more last night. So.
We'll get you on the show, and I'll talk a lot more to you, and we can play for our listeners some of the music that you
got it here.
Thank you, Kurt Hoffman. This was wonderful to talk to you.
Good to talk with you.
All right. Enjoy the conference, and thanks so
you.
much for coming down and speaking to my listeners.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So this is Catherine Bell. You're listening to the Dream Journal, and I'm going to go ahead and open up the phones. I have also have Alina Mansfield here to say hello, but let me open up the phones, and we can maybe get some people also on the line. The number is 831-900-5773.
Should I stick around? Yeah.
And so you can go ahead and call in, and that number again is 831-900-5773. And we also got an email message from I see. Here's a question, but we're going to wait for Linda to come back. It's about a therapist, for a therapist.
Want me to see if I can find her?
She's not far away. She knows she's going to come back. But I have Alina, and I want to talk to Alina Mansfield.
Hi.
Just want to quick say this is KSQD Santa Cruz. We're going to do that legal information stuff. Streaming live at ksqd.org. And my name is Catherine Bell. This is The Dream Journal. And my guest right now is Alina Mansfield. So Alina is our latest, what do you call your role?
Central Office Manager.
Central Office Manager. Okay, so you stepped into this maelstrom of dreamers. Are you interested in your own dreams as well?
I am. That's why I applied for the job. I love dreaming. I study dreams at JFK, John F. Kennedy University. Yeah.
It's also lurking right here. Linda's here, the JFK crew.
That's right.
Okay. And so this is your first conference, I take it, since you kind of just joined us this fall, I guess, or around January or so. Yeah. And so what are you looking forward to this week at the conference?
The Dream Ball.
The Dream Ball. We haven't even mentioned the Dream Ball yet. I know, one of my favorite things.
Yeah, I have a costume. I don't know if I'm going to be, I think I'm going to be working, but I'm coming to the ball. And
you
with
should
my
definitely come to the ball,
with my bulletin and my clipboard.
yeah, okay. Well, they shouldn't make you work during the ball.
I just have to pay the band.
Oh, you have to pay that. Okay, well, that's all right. That's going to take you the whole time. Yeah. That's good. So in the Dream Ball, we are all going to be, basically having a party. We have a live band, and we're invited to dress in dream character. So any character that you have dreamed of lately, you get to put on their clothing and imagine that you are them, because embodying the dream character is a really powerful way of working with dreams, and you get to do it for the whole evening with your friends. You can speak about your dream, or not, or you can just have your own dream.
Be mysterious. Yes, let everyone else figure it out.
That's it. That's a bit like Halloween, but much more personal. So the Dream Ball will be lots of fun, and so it's been really great to have you on the team, behind the scenes, getting the IASD stuff ready, because there is a lot to get ready.
There's a lot, yeah.
Excellent.
Takes a lot to make the dream happen. Yeah.
Well, let me just ask one question, if I may. What interested in you in your own dreams? How did you get started being interested in dreams?
As a child, I loved my dreams. I had interesting dreams. I started a dream journal in 5th grade, and one of the dreams came true. And so I was kind of blown away by that. Or I had dreams about whales. I had I had dreams that helped me out. I was afraid of fires, and I had a dream a firefighter came and helped me out the window. And then I wasn't afraid anymore. I think I just noticed that dreams... There was something going on with that. And then when I grew up, I started reading all the books. And now I get to work with the people that wrote all those books. So.
Here we are at the Dream.
And I also started getting interested in lucid dreaming when I was in my 20s.
Right. Well, we got Stephen LaBerge this week, as I've mentioned. So I'm excited. We have, of course, Stanley Krippner as well here talking about
which is amazing, yeah.
We have our own Psi event. That's one of the highlights of the conferences. You see if people will dream, and see if they can discover the hidden picture that one person is sending to everybody else.
Okay.
So Alina, thank you. This is wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I want to jump back to Linda, if I may. Thanks, Alina. Take care. So I want to jump back to Linda, because I got a question. So I'll say that I also open the phones in case anybody wants to call. Phones are open, so it's 831-900-5773 if anyone wants to call to talk on the air. But I also have a texted question, and I will go ahead with that, which is specifically for a therapist. And so here I grabbed Linda again. This is why I wanted Linda.
Now it makes sense. The mysterious.
Yeah, she was hoping she could just slip away, and I'm like, no. Come on back. So this is from Sharon Reinbott, who is going to be here at the conference. She lives in Tucson. In fact, Max and I have been staying with her and her husband David. Thank you so much for hosting us. And cool. And then Sharon is a longtime dream friend of mine. She'll be coming tomorrow. And she asks, what types of information can a therapist elicit using a dream that they might not otherwise be able to access otherwise?
That is an incredible question. Yes. Probably warrants a little more time than we have, but I can share. Sometimes what I love to do is find the first dream. The first dream, like that they remember, or the first dream that they have to bring to the therapy? To the session. And what I've found is that sometimes that very first dream can give us even the map of what our therapeutic relationship is going to look like and what we're going to work on. I know that sounds a little
The map of the therapeutic relationship.
esoteric,
Wow.
but it's absolutely, I think this is one of the most powerful things we can do with our clients is to, first of all, I think I said this earlier, Sharon, that I wanted to provide a safe place for a lot of these dreams. And I think especially with nightmares, especially with dreams that feel really cryptic, having someone there who knows dreams and can hold dreams just generally, even the fact that they can share these things, then, we often work on the emotions. Emotions are really big when it comes to therapeutic dreams.
Absolutely.
It can give us a very clear picture of waking life stressors, waking life issues,
Do you think
conflicts.
does the dream maybe have an even more accurate view than the waking life person? I guess you have to consider both the waking life, because sometimes I know for myself that I can be, I don't know if denial is the right word, but I can be like, I'm fine, but actually I'm not.
Absolutely.
And so sometimes that just kind of thing shows up in my dream.
And that's why the dream, like it helps to kind of give it a little distance so we
Yeah.
can look at it together. And then, like you said, people have a really hard time identifying their emotions. So if we go into the dream and really tap into what were the feelings and not assume, because we know like sometimes we can assume that a scary situation in waking life is going to be scary in the dream, and that's not necessarily true. So we're really paying attention to that.
So say a little more about that. That's interesting. That I've certainly had the experience that something happens in a dream that would be horrific in waking life, but in the dream I'm just like, that's just how it is. Just
Exactly.
normal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and this is the beauty of working with dreams, is that, like you said earlier too, Catherine, we really focus on the dream and not make assumptions, and not, because honestly, I'm there to guide, but I have no idea.
Right.
Until we dive in, until we start exploring. And if I hear a horrific thing in the dream and then I ask them, well, what was the level of the emotion? And if it's a low level, then that's interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something in their waking life as a message saying, well, something that maybe in waking life I'm feeling so anxious about, but in reality it's not a big deal. So that could reflect that in the dream.
Right. I sometimes get these kind of dreams where I'm like super stressed about something, but everybody else in the dream is like, it's fine. No big deal. Then I'm like, really? Okay, well, am I making a mountain out of a molehill here,
Or it could be the opposite.
Oh.
Or it could be that you're not feeling heard, or you're not feeling like people are taking things seriously when they should. So
right.
So
And so
this
how
is
would
the
you?
exploration.
So tell me a little bit about how you would pick that apart. Like, like which is it, or can it be both, or like how do you? If you get a dream like that has like this ambiguity about it, what do you do with your dream person? Your
deep inquiry.
Lots of questions.
Lots of questions. Absolutely. And I think that's the best way. That's my way usually. I work with different ways, but that to me is the most powerful, because then they get to go deeper and deeper and deeper in themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
Usually they don't get that. And they get that chance. Sometimes we just don't know until we do that deep inquiry.
Yeah. Yeah. And the dream really invites that. It really invites that self-reflective, what's really going on inside of me kind of thing. And can we bring tenderness to that, so that we're not blaming ourselves like this whole hierarchical dream. I'm just like, okay, it's all right. We all have these things, and this is helping me to recognize and maybe unravel that, and rather than blame myself, I'm a bad person, and I'm judgmental and racist, or whatever it is.
I think it's the opposite, Catherine,
Ooh, same
honestly, because to me, when dreams like that come in, there's something we're already shifting that we're open to, and we're inviting in.
Thank you. Yes.
And I want to hold the personal, the communal, and the collective in that dream. Because to me, that is an extraordinary dream to share with others, because it's so resonant to what's going on in our collective right now. I mean, we can all relate to this in our own way. And that's the beauty of dream groups, right? You know this well.
Oh, totally. Yeah, the groups are I'm very interested in groups. There's something very attractive for me about talking about dreams in groups. There's just some kind of dynamic that happens, some resonance between people, and then I kind of get to take on the dreams of the people in my own way. Like, it may mean something different for the dreamer, but I can still see what I see in their dreams and other people's dreams, and they get to get the gift of seeing me work with my dream and the gift of my dream for them.
And I'm going to plug you, because you do a beautiful job with that, Catherine.
Oh, thank you.
Really beautiful.
Oh, that's sweet.
You really hold a loving space for that. It's important. I think that's, and having that gentleness and that guiding container can create. So this is the alchemy. So I like to work alchemically. Ooh. And maybe that's another show. We can talk about
absolutely.
dream alchemy.
Time to get Linda back on the show for sure. Dream alchemy. Ooh. Do you want to give me a little headline about that? That sounds exciting.
Well, just that.
Yeah.
The transformative potentials in dreams. And I just had a dream alchemy dream not too long ago, which again I think is going to be a neat next chapter.
Cool.
So we'll see. But yes, we can always.
You're also giving presentation this week, right? I think we've mentioned your presentation. What is it you're going to be talking about?
So I think I've shared on, I think my first talk with you was on grief and loss and visitation dreams.
Yes.
So it's a bit of that. It's called psychopompic dreaming.
Okay.
And it's just my experience working in, basically it's like I feel like I have another job at night where I'm working in the dreams, supporting people who may need help passing over. Sometimes it's working with elders or healers in dreams. Sometimes they're just pop-in visits to people who have passed. Just recently, I've had a few. We've had sadly, a lot of loss lately in our ISD community.
Well, yes, we have.
And so some of the dreams that I've had recently are connections with those ISD members of our village. So I'll be speaking about just my personal experiences and how it reflects my ancestral practices, my ancestors and the land. Again, I'm back to the land.
Yay, that's good. Well, that's it. I mean, we're really being sensitive. As we increase our sensitivity to everything, or the land or around us, is one of the things that we're aware of.
And our ancient ancestors had dream practices.
Yeah.
So I'll be bringing some of that into it as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. And I'll just mention that I'm going to be giving a workshop called Dreams the Treasure Hunt. Yes. Because I think so many people are like, they're like, oh, I don't talk to me about my dreams. My dreams are disturbing. There's like, I don't want that. But there's always these little nuggets, these little moments of joy, moments of peace. Even in really difficult dreams, often have them. Not always, but if we start looking for those wonderful moments, that can help us have more fortitude, more support for the more difficult moments, and gives us courage to kind of look at what the dream is really saying. And so I really think that's I use anyway. I have this acronym TLC: tenderness, longing, and curiosity. The way I work with the dreams is that starting with the tenderness, and then with just like, this is how it is. And as you said, the dream means I am starting to open this up so I can be tender. And then the longing for another way, for a better way. And then the curiosity of like all those questions, like you said, the intensive inquiry. Like, let's ask a lot of questions. And where is this going? And where's it coming from? And who am I right now? So and then I'm also leading a morning dream group. One of the next features of the IASD is groups. I do groups.
You do great.
Which is, we have like 4 mornings in a row where the same group of people get together and we talk about dreams, like in a group like formation, which is different from a workshop where you just one time drop in, do your work, and then everybody parts ways. You get to see the same people 4 days in a row, and you get to kind of get to know each other a little bit and their dreams. So I'm really excited about that.
That sounds incredible.
Yay!
Yes, you are such a gift to our community.
Catherine.
You are. And it's always a delight to be with you and talk about dreams.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And to be actually with you
All right,
in our.
Well, we will definitely make a schedule to get you back on the show for a full hour because we have lots to talk about.
Always,
for sure. Well, thank you, Linda. Yay.
So lovely.
Yay.
My pleasure, Catherine.
Well, so I'm. So this is just the last person I wanted to say hi, thank you, and I love you. This is Max Deaton, my husband. Aw, thanks, sweetie. And Max answered the phones for a long time of the show, so listeners might know his voice, or callers certainly know his voice. And this is Max's first Dream Conference.
No, it's not.
Oh,
the first one was in Santa Cruz, the one you put on.
That's right, the Festival of Dreams. That
was shortly after we started seeing each other.
Yes, it is. So I just wanted to say.
I remember I ditched a archery tournament to go to your Dream Conference.
Oh, you did? Oh, thank you. That was me and Linda and several other Santa Cruz folks. And so, thank you, Max. I'm so glad to have you here. He's been kind of running bouncer on the environment around here.
Yeah. So any background noise you heard in people talking, you'd shortly be followed by me walking up going, shh.
Yeah, right. That little shushing noises you heard were Max.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, Max, and that's all we have time for, and I'm really glad to be here. My name is Catherine Bell. This is the Dream Journal, and this is the K-Squid. So next week, I'm still be traveling. We're going to be doing a road trip. My son is flying out Thursday, and Max and Trevor and I will be visiting the Grand Canyon and Sedona, Bristlecone Pine, and Yosemite. But I'll be happy to bring you a replay of Keith Salmon, who's talking about animals in dreams. And I hope you enjoy that show next week. We'll be back the week after that with another live show for you. So I'm Catherine Bell. This has been the Dream Journal. Thanks for listening. You can find out more about my own dream coaching practice at experientialdreamwork.com. Email me at catherine@ksqd.org. That's KATHERINE@ksqd.org. Please contact me so we can talk about dreams and so I can put you on my email list. Thanks to folks leaving reviews on Apple Podcasts. Feel free to leave your own. I'd like to thank the hardworking Rick Kleffel, Eva Milady for audio editing, and Mood Science, who's provided the music for the show. Join me again next Saturday at 10 a.m. Well, you can listen to me next Saturday. I will be traveling, but you can listen to the replay. When you wake up tomorrow morning, write down your dream and bring it to the next Dream Journal. I'm Catherine Bell, and you are listening to KSQD Santa Cruz.
There's a time in our life, all the husbands and wives, all the boys and the girls, and everyone in the world knows that so much is wrong, but much more is